Good evening. The opinions and statements voiced by our guests do not necessarily reflect the opinions of this network. Enjoy the shows.
We've been expecting you.
It's Monday. Time for our maven of the supernatural, Denise Pridemore. This is the Paranormal Pride. Join to listen and chat live on WBHM-DB.com or Spreaker app. Search WBHM-DB every Monday at 7 p.m. Central for your supernatural paranormal fix. Welcome to the Paranormal Pride, where the show is about the guest and the listener.
You're listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk, only on Paranormal Experience Radio. Broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Welcome to the Paranormal Pride. I'm your host, Denise Pridemore, and my guests tonight are going to let me have a few minutes of the floor before I have them on. And I want to tell you all, I have been being attacked pretty much since Rick Rose has passed. And it all stems back to his mask, his non-mask feeling. But I want to tell you guys, I'm going to read this. I wrote this out because I'm very emotional about letting people rest in peace. Just because people say stuff, it shouldn't come back to haunt them, even though he knew it did in the end. So it's the I told you so's aren't going to help. So my friend Rick Rose passed on July 4th. His profile went viral, along with some responses that were made. And I've had a couple hundred people decided it was okay to beat me up without knowing anything about me, but it was posted on Rick's post. These people made awful comments about my family and me. They don't know me, and they shouldn't have felt okay to do that. There were also death threats to me, which I did not care for. They also made wrong accusations about Rick and his family. What people don't know about Rick is that he loved to rattle people's cages. He would say stuff just to get a rise out of them. So did he really not use a mask? We don't know. We didn't see. All we saw was pictures of places that he went and things that he did. We will never know the answer to that question. He would have loved all the attention that he has received. The story is now worldwide. Earlier today, I saw that it made it to Australia, and there were some articles there about it. I wrote this really bad. I'm telling you. The thing is his name and likeness was on an Infiniti car, and every single car in that race had a sticker with his face on it. That is amazing. He loved NASCAR, and so he's getting all this attention, people. People who don't know him are making posts, videos, and memes from his posts. Even people who knew him are making news reports about him that they only met him through Twitch, never met him personally, may have seen him and felt like they knew him because of the type of personality that he had, but they didn't really know him. And the horrible things that people are saying, you wouldn't say that about any normal person. Wouldn't say anything like that to to a family member or a friend of somebody who had just died. I don't know what makes them feel like they can at this point. I want to thank David Glidden for his comments on heavy.com. You said exactly what I was saying, and I'm going to read to you guys what he said on here. David reached out to Heavy to share how loved Rick was. The passing of Rick has shaken those who knew him, Glidden said. The guy had a kind of personality that people would gravitate to. He was fun, passionate, enjoyed making people laugh. He was the kind of guy who would post things on Facebook, not particular because he felt a certain way, because he knew it would stir the pot. People would have something to say and argue, but at least people were talking about the issues. Glidden told Heavy that he hopes that the hateful comments people are leaving on Facebook would stop. He said that he had to report some of the comments for harassment, but Facebook didn't take any action, which I've witnessed that as well. Since his passing, people have come out of the woodwork posting nasty, hateful comments about a man they knew nothing about. To top it all off, they did this to his friends and his family who are still mourning less than a week after his passing. Most of it crossed the line into harassment. When reported to Facebook, nothing was taken down, nor were there any action taken. Those that defended Rick faced consequences on Facebook in the way of bans. Though the wounds were and are still fresh, the reality is quite comical in a sense. The way Rick would stir the pot was great, but this is by far his best one. He's probably laughing at all of us and enjoying every bit of it, and we fell for it. Bravo, Rick. You will certainly be missed. So David actually said some of the stuff that I had said to David and Rick and Steve Hayes and many other people about Rick's sense of humor. So we know that he's up there laughing at all these people. They did what he couldn't do in his lifetime. He got himself to be viral. Everybody knows his name. Too bad he's the poster child for COVID. So, and just keep in mind that if you see anything out there written about me or David or anybody who has defended Rick, just keep in mind it's those keyboard warriors that have no face that are trying to bring us all down and make us regret our friendship with Rick. So I hope everybody understands how I feel. And I'm going to tell you also, if you don't like what I said, I don't care. And you've never heard me say I don't care before. I'm done. I'm just done fighting. You don't like me? Leave me.
Go, girl. Yeah.
So that's all I got to say on that. And I hope I don't have to say it again. But there will be a memorial show for Rick as soon as I've got time to put that together. So, and I'm not taking it down when it goes up. I don't care what you have to say. So, but thank you guys for listening to my rant. I don't usually do that unless it's something that really affects my heart. And when it comes to Rick, he is one of those people that when I was sick, he made sure that everybody knew that I was sick, but that he cared. And Kat witnessed it, as well as some of my listeners in the chat room. So I love you, Rick. Okay, so let him rest in peace. So my guests tonight are Rody Speake, who is a really good friend of mine. I met her about the same time I met Rick as well. And Katrina Cooper, and I met her around that same time. And we have been friends now for well over 5 years. And this is, I think, their third or fourth time on my show. Mm-hmm. And I am just so glad to have them here because they came in at the last minute to help me have a show this week because I didn't know if I was going to have one. So because of surgery possibly and all that. And it didn't happen. So I got the best friends that I have to come on. And here they are. Welcome, Rody and Katrina. I'm glad you're back.
Oh, hey, thanks, Denise. What a nice introduction and what a wonderful statement you made for Rick. Yes. Amen to everything you said, sister.
Well, I know you guys had seen Rick. He's been on the show 5 times. He was my first guest. And Rick always made me laugh, made me think. I mean, he would make you think. And so that's what's important.
That's the best kind is the ones that do that,
Yeah. So, but
make you wonder.
Yeah, it does. Because that's what you do. You guys make me wonder too. Now that you guys have your own show out on YouTube and Facebook, you guys are making me wonder how much, not how much, how many times can you be right about something and someone, somebody in these readings? How many times can you be right?
I hope all of them.
100% so far, I think.
No, I wouldn't put any percentage on because I think that some of them are still brewing and need to be shed light to. So I hope that it just gives peace. Yeah, that's the best word. But thanks for describing it that way. Thank you for watching. And I'm just happy that people are interested in putting such delicate information for the world. And that makes me happy too. What about you, Ro?
Yeah, I mean, those people are letting intimate information about their lives to be said. And Denise, you were in for the whole show yesterday. There was a couple of them, the fur baby one, the second one, Mark and Gwen, and then the woman, Samantha. Could you not feel their emotion? Could you not feel it? Is she not there? What happened?
Hello? Kat? I don't know. We thought we were.
I'm sorry. No, I don't know what happened, but.
Dead air.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was just saying that the messages, and they're so personal.
It's not for hours after the show. Too.
It's not like Katrina says, "Oh, your loved one that's passed on loved a beautiful sunrise." Well, hell, everyone loves a beautiful sunrise. So that could be true for anyone. But she'll be like, I'll never forget at the cafe once. She told a woman, "Your dog." It was a fur baby reading. "Loves that you hung his blue collar on that nail in the kitchen." Now, and the woman, of course, burst into tears because she had his blue collar nailed up in her kitchen. And that's very, very specific. So, she is the real deal. Anyone that knows me knows I didn't believe in mediums until Katrina, and I was ready to bust her too. She truly is there. Oh, Denise is back. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's okay. My Skype just
posted the show for you.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. My Skype just died. I mean, it went completely off my computer, and I was trying to call back on my cell phone, and finally it came back up. So it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, your buddy said he wanted to say thank you.
So, well, it is what it is. So I know that Katrina's
medium debunker is her. Take her off.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Denise.
Oh, okay.
That's I know who that is. That is someone that is personally suing me in civil court. She came on another show under
personal.
Okay. All right.
We'll just leave it.
That's fine. Just leave it be. So, so when did you start your show, Rody and Katrina?
We were given the information by a great friend of yours, Carl Albertson. He had informed us that he'd be able to help us with the concept. Thought it was great. And there's nothing's bad between the two of us or anything. It's just that Rody likes to have control, and anybody that knows my role, she likes to have control. So I gave that to her. So it has nothing to do with the fact that we don't have Carl, and we say thank you for him teaching us things. But we just want to, everybody talks about that we talk really well together. So we thought that we would continue to keep that, and all the bleeps and the bloops, and that's what we want.
Yeah, that's right, because we do. This is how we really are in real life, how you see us on the show. And the energy seems to be good, people say. So, and it's a new adventure for Katrina. Things have changed, and the truth is I can't travel anymore for health reasons, and my friend Katrina decided not to travel too. So I think I can still be a part of this, but let's put all our energy on the YouTube channel this year. and
get worldwide.
Yeah. And it's been quite an adventure. It's been so much fun, but it's also so rewarding to see these people, their faces and everything when they get their messages.
And what's nice is I did see a post, because I'm not in the chat room, but someone stated that you can't prove that it's heaven, that it's people's emotions. But I have to beg to differ in that. If you watch the show, the emotions that they have, it's raw. I send them their papers immediately prior to looking at their photo, and it just helps me to pick out of the crowd that are in front of me. You understand that, Denise.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to go to a haunted place to encounter spirit. They're everywhere, down the street, at the grocery store. It just is. But I would let them, whoever was in there behind, say, debunker, ask them. Go and take a look at the shows, the things that are coming in. For an example, 2 shows ago, there was a woman that was sitting there talking, and I said, they told me that it's in your lap. It's in there right now. Now, how can that be emotion, guys? Those are communications from above, and it's because they know. I don't know. I wish I could, because I'd go to Vegas. I would buy tickets. I struggle in my own everyday life, just like everyone else does. I do not have the answers to everything. We try to share, to debunk and prosper, and we just got to put good into the world, and that's all that I promise. I promise 100% honesty.
Yeah, and even if you're wrong, it's still honesty.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's the way it goes. It is what it is. And, people people not wanting it to be real doesn't make it not real.
Right. And you can't guess constantly in a row, or once again, buy a lottery ticket.
Right.
Yes.
And that was one of the questions somebody asked me this past week, is if you're really truly a medium, why can't you pick the lottery numbers? I said, because mediums don't get the numbers. You might want a psychic for that.
I don't take any credit, and anyone that says, oh my goodness, you did a great job. I feel like the only good job that I did was interpreting it properly, being able to bring it forth. Just like if you spoke Chinese, I can't speak Chinese. We would need an interpreter for you to help me understand what you're saying. And hopefully she's good enough to keep me up to where we can have a rapport together. That's what I am. That's it.
Right. And, I've watched I've been watching your show pretty much since it started, as long as it didn't interfere with something else I was doing. We watched, and I've seen people have amazing reactions to the things that you have to say. As yesterday was cry day. Everybody wanted to cry.
It was. I told Rody it was going to be that when I was doing my notes. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be a great show, because the stuff that was coming in was so emotional. And one of my favorites was the little girl. That was one of my favorites last night, when she got her message from her Meemaw. So I thought that was cool.
Oh, it is. I mean, like I said, we were actually at a casino, and I was, we were part of it. I was not walking through the casino floor, because you can't hear anything on the casino floor, but I was walking through the hotel and listening. And I had a couple people look at me like I was weird, but of course you can't see that. Well, because of the mask, you can't see how their true reaction is. All you see is their eyes popping open, but other than that, I listened as long as I could. Well, until I found out I didn't win. So that's when
that would be my way of exiting too.
Yeah, I didn't win, so we're running around. Let's go do stuff. And but the thing, you know what? It's our first break. Everyone, you're listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. We'll be back with Rody and Katrina in just a couple minutes.
Carl's in the chat room now. I knew it was her. I knew it when you said the name.
You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting. The best in paranormal talk radio.
Oh, come on. I'm Southern, but... Nope. That'll do. Hello. I am Kat Hobson, host of Paranormal Experience here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. I enjoy having guests from all areas of the paranormal, from ghosts to ufology to cryptids and beyond. You'll find some of the best researchers in their fields bringing you some great information. Join me on Wednesday nights from 8 to 10 p. Eastern here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
Son of a...
Hey, son.
Mother...
Son, what are you doing?
Hey, Mom. I'm getting ready to listen to Periscope Uncensored.
By expanding your vocabulary.
Well, it is uncensored.
Son, the uncensored part of Periscope Uncensored is Jax and I getting down to brass tacks with all aspects of the paranormal. There's no fluff on our show.
So, no off-color commentary?
I didn't say that.
Awesome! What?
Son?
I just hit my head.
Oh boy. I'll go get you an ice pack. Catch Periscope Uncensored Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
Since 1948, Fate magazine has brought you reports of the strange and unknown, all of them true. Fate Radio is carrying on that tradition, bringing you the unusual, macabre, strange, and bizarre. Join host Kat Hobson Sunday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, Birmingham, Alabama.
Thank you for listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. The time is 23 minutes after the hour.
Welcome back to the Paranormal Pride. I'm your host, Denise Pridemore, and my guests tonight are Rody Speake and Katrina Cooper. And we are talking, well, first we started off talking about their show that's on YouTube and Facebook. And that show is at 4 o'clock Central every Sunday. Is that correct? And it goes for 2 hours.
Yes.
And what's the deal with your show? To explain to people how your show works.
Well, the show works and started to grow the YouTube channel, but say 6 people. And this is just the call. It's $15. They send in a photo, and then we have Katrina makes her notes and sends the notes to them before the show, Denise, so no one can say, oh, she made those notes after the reading. And they call in, and they're gracious enough to be on where people can see them. And sometimes it gets personal, and she gives them the readings, and people watch, comment on it, and it's just very touching. It's actually life altering for some people, most people, to get a message from the other side, and that's what it's about. And it's about growing the channel, also, So that's what we're doing.
Another part that I like about that we started adding to the show, and when we hit 1,000, we're going to do a whole show of randoms, whoever is in the chat room, whoever sends us a photo. What I like about it is that people don't know us. A great example was last night, the one with the fur babies. The woman said, well, I posted all this on Facebook. Nobody knows me. And I'm not asking you to take my word for it. I've even put it in in the invoice. Block me. I'm not so you'll feel better, just make sure that I can get a hold of you with my text messaging or something. But my thing is that I get it. That's why I got Rody. Rody is a debunker. She's out there trying to figure out the way and is it being faked? I want you to do that. And when she brought it up, I'm glad. I had another one that stated that. Well, the only thing I can say is it must have been so important for you to share such, but the rest of it that came in that goes outside of those notes was not on her Facebook. And that's the part that I love. Block me. I got nothing I trust heaven. I trust spirit. They're there with you. They know. And I just hope that I interpret it. So at the end of the show, what we do is we take somebody random and we do try to make it as fair as possible. You send a picture. We put your name on a note. Rody works diligently hard in the background. And a few had to be passed on, but one of the most memorable one, our first time,
Heather.
We had to go through 3 people that, hey, life gets in the way and you decide to leave the chat room or leave the show. And the next one in line and the part that kind of got me was she said that they were forever friends that had been watching our videos for years. And she said, this was before we put them on TV. This is when we realized we want to give them a link to go on so you can see the emotion and I can have a report that's back and forth. It just makes it more authentic. Mm-hmm. And Rody was on Facebook, in the chat room answering them. This poor young lady was 12 years old. 11. I think she was going to be 12. Yes. And she had decided to make her decision to exit this world on her own hand. And it was only, 4 or 5 days?
4 days prior to the show when her daughter passed.
I remember that.
Yes. Yeah. And to have her come out that she shared her sexuality and her sadness. And what I like about it is most of all, is that someone that was hurting so bad is in a place that is no longer bothering her right now. So there is a little bit of a bright light there of knowing that she's not burning in hell for the decision that she made. She's being carried. Mm-hmm. And her mom got a hold of me later and we had a more private one, but that was just something that was meant to be. Yeah. And
you know what, Denise, there's another main reason she started the show. And I can't believe neither one of us remembered it. We were talking about what's going on in the world right now with COVID, but especially our country. Mm-hmm. And Katrina said she would like to try to help in some way. And with people passing on, we've never had a time like this in the history.
And then everything works for a reason. I talked over. Yeah, everything happens. We were just talking about it when somebody had contacted us about the concept.
Yeah, and Katrina said, I would like to, why don't if I could give readings, we'll charge us pittance, and just to try to reach out and see if we could to help people. That was one of the main reasons. I can't believe I just now thought of that when you said about the show, why it started. That was one of and that's because, Katrina is so humble. She's got this awesome heart. And, but I'm sorry, I didn't mean to grab the phone from her, but I just thought of that, Denise. And that was one of the main reasons. What's a way Katrina she said, what's a way I can help right now with what I do? And that was one of the main reasons, actually.
I remember Rody called me before you guys started to have a show. And she was talking to me a little bit about this, she's saying that, Katrina and I want to do something. We just don't know what yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's right. We had to think about it and come up with it.
And so far it seems to be.
Yeah, Carl suggested this actually.
Yeah, it was it just hit, and I believe things happen for a reason. Yeah. I'm going to make her say it.
We were trying to figure out a way to grow the channel, but we hadn't really thought of having our own show. But it's been so rewarding. Besides it's fun, and I know you get that, Denise, talking to different people. The way you host a show, but yeah, it's really rewarding and it's really fun.
Actually, it started at the Black Swan Inn last year. Remember?
Yes.
It was the Black Inn Swan. The Black Swan Inn, a paranormal event, and I stood up all day, and I gave free readings to whoever got into it, and all we asked was a testimonial. That's how we started
That's how we started putting them on YouTube. That was, yeah.
And wasn't that an event with Brad Kling?
Oh, that brought me another sorry, that's a smoker cough. That's not a COVID one. I did do you stop it, Rody. You're cracking me up. Yes, I did do that with them. We met them at
the Bayou City Paranormal Symposium last year. We met the Kling brothers and John Zappis and
I got a photo of him. Brody took a picture with me and I was photobombing. It's the only person that I look small up against.
Oh, it was Brad?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that guy's so tall.
Oh, I know. I've
for sure.
I met him about 11 years ago at McPike Mansion by accident. So yeah, I know. So
it was an honor to be asked. I just got this phone call out of nowhere. He said, and here's for the people that are wondering, they sent me a photo only of this place, and I was able to tell them the murder that occurred, how it happened, the direction, and they said, hey, you want to do a show? You want to do an event together? And I was like, oh, well, honest to God, what I did was I put my phone on mute and I jumped up and down because I loved the Kling brothers when it was Ghost Lab.
You didn't knock yourself out jumping up and down like that? Because I know you're built.
Shut it up. Yeah. I'm Denise. I'm pretty sure I held them down. It just comes automatically with probably held them with my. But I did. It was exciting. So it went really well, and all the readings that evening was also great wherever we go. And I just gotta say, it feels good helping people.
It does. I've known that my whole life. I've always volunteered. I was on the first group of people in the 80s that volunteered to work the AIDS hotline in Houston. And that also was really rewarding. And I volunteer at the animal shelter now, also very rewarding. And volunteering period or helping, it will make you feel good. And humble, but it makes you feel so good. Your endorphins get to flowing and you feel good about yourself, and then plus you're doing something that's helping.
Yep. I love volunteering, and I actually volunteered to do a party, a Halloween party actually at an AIDS hospice here in Kansas City back in the 90s.
Wow. Awesome. Yeah, that is so great. Yeah. People were still very afraid, even in the early 90s, of sometimes even being around AIDS patients,
I can't do hospice.
Yeah. I mean, I did have an interview at I actually worked one day in a nursing home and couldn't take it.
Mine was a week. I was Rody about it yesterday. I was like, I think mine was a week. I didn't even go and get my paycheck.
Hey, Denise, are you like Katrina, when you go into somewhere where a lot of people have passed, it's overwhelming for you?
Sometimes it is. The hospital that I go to for almost everything, I've told them about the ER being haunted, and and every once in a while you have somebody look at me and go, what? And then I would explain, and they're going, oh my goodness, I've seen that. And I mean, I've been in that ER quite a few times, so it's not like it's just one time. I've been, I tell you, when I said something, this one woman goes, I think it's my mother. She works at the hospital. She goes, I think it's my mother that you're seeing. I said, well, this person that I saw was a man. I said, but yeah, I said, your mother's probably here with you. And because she loved being a volunteer here at the hospital, she goes, how did you know that? And I was like, because she told me. It's not, And for me, it only comes every once in a while. Something comes to me, and that's it. And I'll tell somebody if I feel safe. I
and
just
you're
won't.
sharing it. That's what's great.
Yeah. And when I'm right, yay, it's great. If I'm wrong, well, then I just shut up again for a longer time. That's it. But it is weird at this one hospital. I had my hysterectomy in that hospital. I've been in the ER there 3 times myself, maybe 4. My kids have been in there, and my lung collapsed. That's where I went.
Whoa.
So I know this hospital very well. So what was bad was when my lung was collapsed, I had spirits come through my room. A lady, I think 3 doors down from me, died that one of the nights I was there. And she walked through my room all confused. I didn't know anything had happened because, I made my door. I told him, just shut my door. I don't want it open because I was on a main walkway. So I couldn't hear what was going on out in the hall. And it was like 2 a.m.
Wow.
It's very quiet. Only thing I kept hearing was somebody pushing the cart over this thing in the floor where the buildings met. Chunk, 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 chunk. That's the only thing I heard all damn night. So, so when this woman came into my room, it was just very, very odd, and I'm going, okay, well, what kind of medicine am I on? That's the first thing I thought. But she sat down in my room confused. She couldn't talk to me, nothing. She just sat there confused. And the next morning at 7 a.m., I asked the nurse, I said, did a lady die last night? And she goes, I said, she was like 2 or 3 doors down. And she goes, yeah, how did you know? And I said, well, she came through here before, I guess, heading on to wherever it is she was going.
For destiny.
And she was like, really? And I said, yeah. And she goes, I wonder if that'll happen again, if somebody passes here. Do they always come through this room? I said, I don't know. I said, it could be because I'm this bright light. And she goes, well, what she told me was, she goes, you are a bright light. She goes, because no matter when we come in here, you try to smile even though you're hurting and you're in pain. She goes, you try to smile.
Well, that's true.
Like, oh yeah, I try. So, because it was, that was a weird time for me anyway. But yeah, it is strange sometimes when I go into a place where a lot of people have died, and sometimes it only takes one person for it to feel strange.
Yes, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, so you guys are going to be having your show. Are you planning on? Okay, how many shows have you had already? 6, 7?
10. We're
10?
in the double digits. 10 yesterday. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
And how many followers are you up to on YouTube?
976.
Okay.
We're only 24 away from that 1,000. Our first goal. Yeah.
Anyone listening, help us out.
Yeah. Katrina Spiritual Medium, YouTube.
Please.
Go subscribe.
I will make sure I add the link in here before we're done, and I'll add it to the other chat as well. But I know that I'm one of those subscribers, and so is Ron.
Thank you.
Right.
I will tell you, Ron likes watching it on the TV.
On the TV.
Yeah, he'll send the YouTube to the TV.
Oh, wow.
We
So it's
do
nice
that
and
too.
big.
Yeah. Oh no! Now you can really see everything, all my makeup.
Yeah,
I put it on.
our TV's only 42 inches, so it's not like the 72 inch or the 60 some odd inch that the kids have downstairs.
What about the other boob?
Well, only thing I'm going to give you a little bit of feedback on. You know when you got the little call outs going across?
Yes.
It keeps blocking out your mouth when you're talking.
Oh, okay. So I'll have to lift up a little bit.
Yeah, either lift up a little bit or or pick and choose which things you want up there. If you only want to put it up for a little bit, put it up for,
when
the comments from the chat room, not the ticker.
I gotcha. We'll do that.
Yeah, that was the only thing you were talking last night. And if you happen to have somebody who's hearing impaired that reads lips, you're going to lose them.
Didn't think of that. Thank you. We want everyone to give us some feedback. We're going to be playing around until we can find our footing. And you know what? I hope that we're always playing around. That's what I want.
Because that's our personalities.
Rody's trying so hard to make it perfect because she just wants me to do that for me. And I keep telling her yesterday she's doing laundry. I said, I want it to be so if the dryer goes B, I want to be able to tell you guys that we're doing two things at one time, and that's my dryer. You know, I don't want it to be. I want it to be real.
Well, yeah, multitasking. But like I said, I was telling Ron last night, I go, I'm watching on my phone and I can't see your face. I can only see from your nose up. And, you know, when you're watching, you want to see the people's face so that you can see the emotion. I mean, your emotion, I didn't know if it covered up the other person's face because I was looking more at you. But like I said, I figured I'd give you the feedback. It can't hurt.
And no, I love it. Absolutely. And I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So
we'll make sure that is an issue next time.
Well, before we go to break, do you want to give your YouTube channel one more plug?
Yes, on YouTube, it's Katrina Spiritual Medium. That's the name of her channel. And we would be so grateful if you'd go subscribe, and you will have quite an experience. Watch a couple of those videos. And you will, it just blows me away to this day. I get chill bumps.
Well, not only that, you can look up Katrina Spiritual Medium on Facebook as well, so that you can get notified of when there's shows coming up as well, because they simulcast on Facebook with the YouTube, but they really want you to focus on the YouTube. So, and you can comment in YouTube. People may not know that, but you can comment in YouTube as long as you're signed in. So if you're not signed in, you can't. And to get in on their free stuff, you got to be on YouTube.
She has a Twitter now too. What is it? Katrina Spiritual Medium?
Yeah.
Yes. As of about 3 weeks ago, we're tweeting.
We are.
All right.
I twitted.
Twitted?
I twitted. I'm sorry. I think it's proper.
Well, I am on Parler now. Parler.
I don't even know.
I never heard of it.
As well as MeWe.
What is it, Denise?
Parler. Parler.
Okay.
And
social media site?
Yes. And it also has an app. And when you comment and stuff, it's called a parlay on there. And then I'm also on MeWe, MeWe. I'm probably going to start focusing more on those. So are you on Instagram too, Katrina?
I do have an Instagram. It is also Katrina Spiritual Medium.
Okay. And then you have a regular web page as well.
I do, but I haven't been given on it. Yeah, if someone goes into it, it's very basic at the moment, but you're welcome to take a look. We have plans of 2021 where it's going to come out the box and be fabulous.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you know what? We're at our break. So everyone, you're listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
Live from NPR News, I'm Jack Speer. The head of the World Health Organization is warning the COVID-19 pandemic is worsening globally, and it will not be business as usual anytime soon. At a press briefing today, WHO Chief Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said while there will be no return to the old normal for the foreseeable future, at least until things stabilize.
We need to reach a sustainable situation where we have adequate control of this virus without shutting down our lives entirely.
Ghebreyesus said that while many countries in Europe and Asia have brought outbreaks under control, too many others are seeing virus trends moving in the wrong direction. The WHO official also criticized political leaders for sending mixed messages. The U.S. military is preparing to redeploy additional service members to support the coronavirus response. NPR's Tom Bowman says more than 700 military health professionals are being dispatched to a number of hotspots throughout the South and the West.
The bulk of the troops, including doctors, nurses, and support personnel, are heading to Texas. The first group is going to hospitals in San Antonio and Houston, with 4 other locations in Texas still to be determined. Meanwhile, more than 150 Air Force medical personnel will head to California to help out with overstretched medical staff there. The specific locations were not immediately.
Welcome back to the Paranormal Pride. I'm your host, Denise Pridemore. We are the Curse Station tonight. We're having all kinds of fun stuff. The one show that usually doesn't have any technical difficulties, we're having technical difficulties, and I think it's Rick messing with me, and that's what I'm going to take it as. So, and messing with Kat. Oh yeah. So what? Oh yeah, it would. Yeah, he would. So you guys have done some events, and did you have any events planned for 2020?
Yes, I had many, and I had to refund every single bit of it. We had 4 events, major ones, going on in April and May, and I was worried of losing my home. Honest to goodness, I live check to check too, and this is my check. And I was, and in my mind, because I am a budgeter and I live on a modest income, and I take care of my sons, and I was worried that the little bit of money that would be in people's households, they're probably putting it into food and electricity, and I had no idea that it would go this way. But I'll tell you, my forever friends came in a beautiful way. I put a 50% discount up, and I had 60 readings in 3 weeks that I was just slammed. I don't know about any other mediums. I'm not sure how many they do, but I've done that in one night. But to have it in 3 weeks on top of all of the stuff that I was beat. Rody
She
knows.
was, yeah. She was slammed, and I've never seen her so tired. But
I was so thankful.
Busy. Yes, she was.
I was able to bring enough to where it took care of me for the next 3 months. And I want to say thank you guys, because I couldn't ask for a unemployment because I'm on my own, and I couldn't ask for any of those other government for businesses because I didn't have people. So, man, heaven really came out for me, and all I can say is thank you, because I was worried.
Well, I'm glad that it's working out, because I know that you're going through some personal hardship as well that's not related to your readings and stuff. So I just want you guys to be okay down there. That's all. So
yeah, thank you.
So have you already been booked for anything in 2021?
No, I have not. Not at this present moment. I have open invitations to many. There's especially with us being in a hotbed, there's a lot of people that had canceled the rest of the year. So it is really, I think everyone is in the same position. Like, what is it going to do? How is it going to do? And all events cost upfront money to begin with. So lots of them are not putting that up, So we're hoping we'll be able to give what's the right word that I'm looking for? Hope and a little bit of sunshine, and hopefully a smile on your face. Whether it brings a tear, there's also a smile of knowing that they're there. And I'm hoping that's what our show does for people.
Now, Katrina was booked this past April for the second annual Bayou City Symposium. There was only been one the April before. That would have been April 2019. And we actually got a booth we paid for a booth to have one there, but she was there as she gave a little very small presentation in a little side room. But this past April, she was a featured person. She was going to be up there with the panel.
And I sold out. Both my shows were sold out before they had sold out their events. That made me feel good.
Yes, it was. So I think for sure that they will have one next year. They had to cancel because of COVID, but I know that she'll be invited back there because, well, like everywhere she goes, she was spot on, and people were just in amazement. But like she always says too, she goes, "I'm not the author of the book. I'm just reading the book."
That's correct.
She's very humble. Yeah.
Well,
it's the truth.
And so some of the people in the chat room may not know, how did you two meet?
Oh, I'm going to let Rody tell that way.
Well, I was with a group, a paranormal group, and we were investigating the Houston Maritime Museum. And then in walks this woman, and she's got a look to her, a different look. And I'm like, well, who is this? She didn't have one of our shirts on that said our team name or anything. And she just walks up. She goes, "Hi, I'm the medium." And now my experience up to that point, Denise, had been anyone that told me they were a medium were either a liar, a fraud, delusional, or mentally ill. Honest to God.
And you rolled your eyes too, didn't you?
Oh, I rolled my eyes.
She definitely rolls her eyes.
And I followed her around all night, telling everyone, don't listen to her. She's a fraud. She's a fake. I tried to catch her manipulating the equipment, and I could not. So I thought, okay, I'll find out if she's real. So I set up a reading.
Equipment.
Yeah, it was my K2 she actually had. I didn't know. It was going off, and I thought it was hers, and she had it rigged. And I'm with my video camera zooming in, trying to see what she's doing. But so I said, okay. So 5 days later, she came to my apartment to do a reading. And I took all my pictures down, any books out, I covered with a blanket. There was no clue about anything about me. And I had asked my friend, the one, my peanut butter and jelly friend that's passed on.
Famous.
Yep. There's something we did when we were like 23. I said, if she's real, you come through and you say something about that. So she came to my house 5 days later, and that's exactly what happened. That's what came through. But besides that, Janice, we went out front of my apartment. I lived in an apartment then, to have a cigarette, and she pointed over to like an apartment across the way and said, "Oh, he wanted to thank you. Thank you. You always said hi," and used his name. Now, I had forgotten a year and a half earlier, a man had died. They found him in his apartment. EC was his name, and he would stand outside and smoke. And I would always say, "Hi, EC," because he never got company or anything. I wanted him to know someone knew his name. But anyway, that's how we met. And I had to eat crow because, like I said, I was for that week telling everyone, she's just another fraud. I will prove it to you guys. And anyway.
Actually, she calls me up 2 days later.
Yeah.
And says,
Katrina, I didn't tell her that the night of the reading. I didn't really confirm anything with her because it was actually something very young, embarrassing at this point to say, I was 23 years old. But so I didn't acknowledge anything to her, but it was the next day.
She called me up, but I was coming back from another reading, and she stated, "I'm going to eat crow." And you hit it on the button, and she shared with me, and anybody that has a reading with me, I think you even see my posts when someone puts their beautiful words and thank yous. I take their name out, not because I'm trying to hide them, because I don't want to exploit them. I don't want to have to use them for that, but I want to share with the world the words that this is real. And I'm going to tell you, I'm well over into 4,000 of Forever Friends messages that I got it on a side that I take a copy of. And it just made me feel good for her to come out and state that. So of course, what better way than to ask her to be my partner? And I called her up and I said, I'm not asking you to leave the group. I was just wondering, would you be interested in working with me? Because I wanted someone that was going to hit all of the bad spots and find it, because I got nothing to hide. That's why I put my head under some wires up with Dr. Chuck Kennedy, and I love him so much. But I work with his program, and to see that it's not, it comes from somewhere, and I don't know where it comes from. I guess the same way when someone can wiggle their ears and they're trying to explain to you how to do it, and we're over here moving our faces, and it just does. And it feels good. You know?
What is Dr. Chuck Kennedy's program for the people who don't know?
It's Project Psi, and he assists in mediums, psychics all over the world. He has developed a program that looks into brain waves, and he also has a program that helps bring children home and human trafficking. And I like being on that program with him as a individual that is part of a team, and he takes all of our stuff, none of us, and I don't know all of the people that are on there. That's the great part about it. You're anonymous. And we put the information that we get, and then he has a program that shares to where he contacts the FBI, because he's got a good rapport with many people and the police officers. And we've taken and brought home over 100, and I think the count was 109 children so far, but I know that it goes up. And I have been on where I assisted in a team, which is, what is that? On 45. What is the name of that team? EquiSearch, Texas EquiSearch, which happened to be the missing kid.
Oh, Ken Miller, the man who started it, his daughter, Laura Miller, was one of them. You've heard of the Highway of Death and the killing fields here in Houston, between Houston and Galveston. 48 Hours has done a show on it. But when his daughter went missing, and it took 9 months to find her, that's when he started EquiSearch. And he's the one who found those 2 kids in Idaho 3 weeks ago, the Lori Vallow case. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Yes.
But yes.
No, everybody is pretty much familiar with that. We got to listen to that since September of last year.
I've been following this closely since January myself. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that was my first time helping out with someone missing, and I had to tell them that they weren't coming back, and I can't do that. So I don't advertise doing this. I've been on many, one that's going to be on 2020. No, you're not going to see Katrina Cooper on there, but my information will be on a particular forever friend of mine, and I'm not going to say her name. I don't remember it. But her dad was involved with some murders and turning people in and everything. So I've done a lot of murder cases. I've done a lot of those. And the best part is me not knowing that I'm doing them. But I love working with Dr. Chuck because he has a heart. It's for a good cause. And I don't have to feel the rest of the family. And it's the worst feeling, guys, the worst, to be able to tell them that there's no hope. And I can't tell them there's no hope. And I walked away that day knowing that there was nothing that I could do or help. And I was persecuted. I was yelled at. I was told that I was a liar and a whatever. And my last statement to them, all I can remember is that the school bus was pulling up, and he told me to tell his wife to give the kids their Oreo cookies and it still gets to me. Their Capri Sun.
Yeah.
And it just gets to me every single time. And I walked away with the mud up to my knees, just like everybody else trying to find him. I can't, and I don't know what anybody else has to say about me, but I just don't have the heart to help in a direct way. I just can't.
Well, you can only do what you can do, because we can't hurt ourselves to help to help others.
But everybody, and I'm saying this to you, including your friend that you had to make a statement today in defending him, everyone has, and words hurt. They really do. They hurt, whether it's because I'm fat or I'm not speaking to the spirit, or those are things that hurt a soul, and it hurts. And you know that, it for someone to tell you such. So I do it on a different level, and that makes me feel better. It makes me to feel like a part of team and to help society. And they'll make you feel like, oh, you're taking money from people. I take a humble amount. I $15 for a show on my show, and I feel like I'm reasonable for that hour. It works hard. I do a lot of work. It's a lot of energy for both people. And I know that I went and got my hair done, and it was $125. And I think that the money that I'm asking you for, a lifetime of pricelessness that's coming from heaven, and it takes a lot of work, I shouldn't be ashamed of that, or otherwise. Yep. So I don't.
Okay. You know what? We're at the top of the hour break. So you're listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. This time you get to hear the news. Come on back.
Live from NPR News, I'm Jack Speer. The head of the World Health Organization is warning the COVID-19 pandemic is worsening globally, and it will not be business as usual anytime soon. At a press briefing today, WHO Chief Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said while there will be no return to the old normal for the foreseeable future, at least until things stabilize.
We need to reach a sustainable situation where we have adequate control of this virus without shutting down our lives entirely.
Ghebreyesus said that while many countries in Europe and Asia have brought outbreaks under control, too many others are seeing virus trends moving in the wrong direction. The WHO official also criticized political leaders for sending mixed messages. The U.S. military is preparing to redeploy additional service members to support the coronavirus response. NPR's Tom Bowman says more than 700 military health professionals are being dispatched to a number of hotspots throughout the South and the West.
The bulk of the troops, including doctors, nurses, and support personnel, are heading to Texas. The first group is going to hospitals in San Antonio and Houston, with 4 other locations in Texas still to be determined. Meanwhile, more than 150 Air Force medical personnel will head to California to help out with overstretched medical staff there. The specific locations were not immediately announced. Just last week, Texas officials reported more than 10,000 new coronavirus cases, nearly 20% of the nation's new cases for the day. And on Sunday, California officials reported some 8,500 new infections, with sharp increases in Los Angeles and San Francisco. Tom Bowman, NPR News.
NPR reported in late May about the stock holdings of Vice President Mike Pence's chief of staff. Mark Short held up to $1.64 million in individual stocks of companies related to the Trump administration's pandemic response. Now NPR's Tim Mack reports a member of Congress is launching an investigation into the issue.
There's new evidence that the vice president's top aide was present at coronavirus response meetings featuring companies whose stock he held. Congressman Raja Krishnamurthy is a member of the House Oversight Committee. In a letter citing NPR's reporting, he demands to know what the Office of Government Ethics is doing about Mark Short's apparent conflicts, and whether it will refer the matter to the Justice Department. He also cites the law prohibiting executive branch officials from holding stocks while participating in government decision-making related to those companies. The vice president's office has maintained that Short committed no misconduct and has recused himself where appropriate. Tim Mack, NPR News, Washington.
One of the first major U.S. companies to weigh in with second quarter earnings numbers, soft drink and snack maker PepsiCo apparently did better than analysts had expected. Losses in the soft drink market were offset by a boost in snack sales. On Wall Street today, the Dow was up 10 points. You're listening to NPR. Lebanon is spiraling deeper into economic crisis. That's according to a new warning from the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights. He says many Lebanese already face destitution and starvation. NPR's Ruth Sherlock reports on the hardship weighing on millions of people across Lebanon.
As the Lebanese pound collapses, citizens have watched their savings vanish. Plus, prices of food and other essentials, including diapers and baby milk, have soared. Tens of thousands of Lebanese now barter online, sometimes swapping gym equipment or clothes for food. Citizens blame the problems on Lebanon's notoriously corrupt political elite. Residents have suffered through the summer heat with little electricity because the country lacks the fuel for its power station. This is the result of oil shipments being interrupted over a scandal involving bribery and the waste of public funds. And now Lebanon lacks the dollars even to buy enough medication to stock hospitals. Ruth Sherlock, NPR News.
Tennessee's governor has signed one of the strictest abortion laws in the nation, though it was quickly blocked by a federal judge. The measure signed by Republican Governor Bill Lee bans the procedure once a fetal heartbeat has been detected as early as 6 weeks into pregnancy, which is before many women even know they're pregnant. Similar legislation enacted in other states, including Mississippi and Georgia, has been blocked by legal challenges. Proponents of the bans are hoping to get that matter before the Supreme Court. Crude oil futures prices lost ground today. West Texas Intermediate ending the session down 1.1% to close at $40.10 a barrel on the New York Mercantile Exchange. I'm Jack Spear, NPR News.
Welcome back to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. The time is 5 minutes after the hour.
Welcome back to the Paranormal Pride. I'm your host, Denise Pridemore. My guests tonight are Katrina Cooper, spiritual medium, and her sidekick, Rody Speake. I consider Rody to be the lead, though. I'm sorry.
I agree. No.
Well, everybody always says Katrina and Rody, and I always put it as Rody and Katrina. And
me too.
But that's just me.
No, it isn't just you. It's me too. I do that all the time. Tell the truth.
She does do that all the time. We even had a name like Bradulina. You know how people do names like that?
Uh-huh.
And it was Coyote. No, wait, it was Retrina. That was it, Retrina, like Rody and Katrina.
We tried to figure out something.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. That's exactly what I feel like. I feel like it couldn't be anything without her.
And I agree.
Thank you. Oh, you guys. Now she's the show. She's the
No, it's not. It's us.
But we do play well off each other. We got this relationship that's just. Sometimes we say if there was ever a GoPro or a hidden camera, people would think it's probably some kind of scripted thing.
You should have saw us last night. You guys would have laughed if you saw things going on with the. It is. It's so spontaneous, and I love her. She's an awesome lady.
Yeah, I love her too.
And you guys have only known each other for what, about 5 years?
No, a little over 6 now. Yeah. And you know what? It's ironic you say that. And I say ironic in this way because I've had this talk with both Katrina and Valerie together and separate. My experience has been, and what I've seen in my life to be at the age I was at, you usually have one or two really good friends you've had forever. I've not ever experienced, since being 50 and older, now I'm 62, meeting someone and becoming this close of a friend at this point in your life. That was new to me, and I'm so grateful for it because you would think we all knew each other 20 years, Denise, the three of us.
I know.
Yeah.
Remember, I've seen you together personally.
Yeah,
because when you guys
personally, that's right, a couple times.
Yeah, because when we were the only people you guys saw extra on your trip to the Villisca Axe Murder House, our anniversary weekend.
You were the only
absolutely. I will say that loud and proud. And
true.
People were reaching out to her like crazy. We're right here. We're right here. And we said no, we don't. But when we knew we could see you, yes, we said, oh well, hell yeah, we got to stop and see Denise and Ron.
Well, the thing is I made the stop right on your way. You had no way you could miss it. You had to go right by there.
You made it right there.
You literally made it on the way. I mean, you sure did. You absolutely did.
At the same restaurant I have always met you at, besides Sally House.
Well, it was because you knew where it was. That's the only reason I said, hey, let's meet here. And it's quiet there.
Yes, we were there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like I said, it was quiet, and it was right where if you guys needed to stop and get anything, Walmart was right there, convenience stores, everything was there, so you could get on your way and not have to go any further out of your way to find stuff. But like I said, if you make it someplace somebody's been, it's easier. It just is. You know, not that I needed to have Zaxby's again that day. But you guys now have Zaxby's down there.
No, we don't.
Have what?
You have a Zaxby's, don't you, on the other side of Houston?
I've never heard of it.
See, I still have never been to a Zaxby except for you. I've never seen one driving other than up in Kansas. I haven't seen them in I haven't seen them in Arizona
No, they're not in Arizona. Utah is the furthest west. There's one in Utah, or some in Utah, and then Kansas. I mean, continuous states. Kansas, I think, was the last that they added, but I could have swore that they were putting one in on the west side of Houston.
It might be, but I'm not like running to it.
No, I wouldn't run to it.
Yeah,
I'd go to Raising Cane's first.
Yeah,
we have those. We have Raising Cane's.
I haven't been to Raising Cane either.
Yeah, we have them, but I've never even heard of, except for there. And I've never even heard that or seen a commercial.
But it's good chicken. It was good food.
Oh yeah, and it was
salad.
Oh yeah, and we had great people there at that one.
You guys shared a meal.
What? Well, you guys sound a little weird.
We do. We sound weird.
Yeah, suddenly you sound like you're Minnie Mouse in space. I was going to say chipmunks, but yeah, same thing. Yep. What happened?
Well, I can't blame that on the wine. I'm not quite sure why now. I don't know why that's happening.
Is it plugged in all the way?
It is. Yeah, it's the bone's been sitting here on the tripod. Yeah. Should I go out and come back in?
I don't know. So you can try.
She sounded that way. Are we still sounding like chipmunks?
We are sounding like you're really far, far away.
Let's go out. Oh, and I can't get any closer to you. Would see the nose hairs in my nose. Let me go out and come back in.
So, well, everyone, I hope you're enjoying the show. If you guys have any questions for Katrina or Rody, please put them in the chats and I will make sure I ask them. We're going to talk a little bit about their paranormal experiences here when they come back because, we don't really want to listen to chipmunks in outer space. Or maybe they did go and find some helium and they're having.
Does that do it?
Now you're far away.
Oh, they lost Denise.
I can hear her now.
They lost Denise. It's Spirit. You should know that, cat. Does it mess with your stuff?
Made it absolutely.
You sound very spoken. Nice to meet you.
And look at her picture. She looks like she would talk soft.
She does.
Yeah.
Are you back?
We're back, but we can barely hear you guys.
Oh, that's not good.
I can barely hear you.
Okay.
So it sounds as if I don't have. Oh, this says speaker is off. Let me see what speak.
You guys sound fine. I am too. Thank you, Rick. Love you. So that's where we're going with this. I never have technical difficulties. Never. So,
this is a bad one.
Yeah, because it sounds like we are, when you get a phone call and you want to talk to somebody on speakerphone, but you forgot to put the speakerphone on, that's what it sounds like to you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I can hear you just fine.
Okay, then that's good. We'll try to listen to you.
So, my question to you guys is how often are you guys investigating now?
Not too often, to tell you the truth. It's literally a matter of energy and time. Now, we have been to the jail a couple of times.
The Lavaca County Jail.
Yeah, the old Lavaca County Jail. But honestly, I personally I would have to cut something out to do any investigating the way things are right now with my schedule and my energy. And
I want to do UFOs. I'm ready for the unknown. I already know their spirit. I already know they talk.
But I do want to go to the Stanley Hotel and hoping we can get that done next year. Maybe we can make it a big road trip, Denise.
Bucket list.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's one of those places that you definitely want to go to if you can.
Yeah, but maybe we make it a road trip, like we meet there or something.
Oh yeah, we can try to figure that out. It's got to It's got to be in their 2 months of summer. Because it snows up there a lot.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and I don't do well in snow. Period.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's not that far from Denver, but it's a heck of a drive for all of us.
Yeah. Well, I'm lucky when we hit the road, Katrina does all the driving.
I love the drive.
And I don't care to drive, so it works out perfectly.
Like I said, I know she loves to drive because she drove all the way up to Atchison to see us.
I drive everywhere.
So do we. We drive everywhere. I mean, we drive to Vegas. And for us, it's a 21.5-hour drive.
I drive to Vegas too, but I'm not quite sure. I break it up into Arizona and then I hit at Vegas.
Yeah, it takes us 2 full days to drive out there.
Wow.
Well, driving into the sun sucks.
Yeah, these last couple of trips we went on, I have to confess, I flew in and had Katrina pick me up, and I flew back home. I deserted her on the road, but it just worked out better for me. And yeah, Valerie actually was with her, so she wasn't alone on the road. But what?
To the Axe Murder House.
What about it?
When we had to stop in the middle of the road because
Denise.
What?
Well, we were going to Villisca Axe Murder House just a few months ago, and we're driving, and part of it you're on the big highway, but was part where we were on just kind of like a country road, a 2-lane, nothing around us, not even other cars or anything. And I'm looking at my phone. Valerie's asleep in the back seat, and all of a sudden Katrina slams the brakes where we all, Valerie fell off the seat. I went to the dash, and Katrina's like starting to cry, and she's like, I saw a woman crawling. She goes, I thought it was a real woman. It looked real.
First I was looking around. Yeah. I thought we ran over her.
I remember that.
Over a human being.
You were telling us that at the restaurant.
Do what?
You were telling us that at the restaurant.
Yep, it was a year ago.
Yeah. So, okay. That was a year ago?
Last year is when we went to Villisca.
I didn't know it was this late in the summer we went. Okay.
No, you went in May. It was our wedding anniversary. That's why I know.
May, right. Yeah, more spring. Summer.
We ran into them.
Yeah, right. Yeah, coming back from Villisca. But it was so real looking to her. I mean, she would have never just hit the brakes to be a joke or whatever. She really thought it was a woman
and like
in the street.
6 feet ahead of us was about 20 feet ahead of us or so. I don't know. I really don't know the how many feet, but there was a memorial there.
Yeah, for someone who died in a car accident. So I don't know if that was who it was, but the fact that she thought it was a real person, that's how real they can look at times. Yes, she was shaking and crying. Honestly, it was traumatic for her.
Come on, guys. Anybody that think that they ran over someone, I mean, it was horrible feeling. But it was better to find out that I didn't.
Well, the good news is if you did hit someone, your car would have went bump, bump.
Well, we were waiting for that. I was waiting. I was looking all over the place. I know for sure that I had ran her over, and nobody seen it. And that's when, you were able to calm down. And that's when we saw that there was a memorial nearby. And so we pulled off to the side of the road, got out our trusty recorders.
tried to get some EVPs, but
regardless of whether or not that we're active investigating, we always want to get confirmation and get it on tape, and that's what we tried to do. So, no, we didn't get anything during that moment, but we did a great job at the place.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, well, like I said, we have that family connection to the Villisca Axe Murder House due to Ron's family. So, it's just weird. But I like I used to like going up there when you could get a tour and hang out in the house for a little while and stuff. And now you can't. So without an overnight stay. No, you have to have an overnight stay. You can get a tour, but you're creepy. Well, you know what? I'll talk to you guys about the tour after this because we're at our break. You're listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh, come on. I'm Southern, but... nope. That'll do. Hello. I am Kat Hobson, host of Paranormal Experience here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. I enjoy having guests from all areas of the paranormal, from ghosts to ufology to cryptids and beyond. You'll find some of the best researchers in their fields bringing you some great information. Join me on Wednesday nights from 8 to 10 p. Eastern here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk radio.
Listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk, only on Paranormal Experienced Radio, broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Since 1948, Fate magazine has brought you reports of the strange and unknown, all of them true. Fate Radio is carrying on that tradition, bringing you the unusual, macabre, strange, and bizarre. Join host Kat Hobson Sunday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern on WBHM Digital Broadcasting. You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk, only on Paranormal Experience Radio, broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.
The time is 23 minutes after the hour.
Well, welcome back to the Paranormal Pride. I'm your host, Denise Pridemore, and my guests tonight are Katrina Cooper and Rody Speake, and we've been having some fun technical difficulties, but hopefully we can all hear each other now. So,
yes.
So we were talking about Villisca and stuff like that. So, of all the trips you guys have taken together, which one was your favorite?
Oh my gosh, let me think for a minute.
To the Shell station. That was my favorite. We went and got gas. And I'm going to tell you my favorite and why Rody is thinking. My favorite is I have a photo in LaPorte, Indiana that I took of a soldier that I can see his eyelashes. That's how defined it is. And it's just a couple of blocks from my mom's old house. And Rody took the airplane and flew in. I picked her up. It was about 11 o'clock or so. We had to drive in from Chicago. I wanted to show her where that picture was taken because, Rody, she wants to see all details.
Right.
So we're there and I go to visit, and I always go every year to say hello to this gentleman. And Rody and I are sitting there and we're listening, and she's asking questions, and we get on our DR60 a growl, and Rody takes it as a invitation, our Rody. And so she goes and she starts talking to him, and I'm going, Rody, that growl wasn't for a good reason. I can hear the guy talking. So I get in the car. I'm a little flustered. It's about 12 o'clock, 12:30 a.m. And Rody's out there, and after the growl, so she decides to piss him off. She tells him, come after me, go get me, I don't care, and entice him. And I'm in the car. I roll down the window just about 2 inches. I go, Rody, he's not from here. And we all know we're at a cemetery, so they're kind of like bound to some kind of rules. I truly believe that rules do follow over into the other side. But this guy didn't come from there. And Rody's still upset that he had growled at her, and we do have it on recording. Yep. And you hear me saying in the recording, Rody, he's not from here. And Rody goes, oh, okay. So she goes and gets into the car, and we're talking, and she's going, oh, I think that he was welcoming me to Chicago. And I'm like, I don't. But remember, she was being dominant. She was expressing, come after me. You want to growl? But because she didn't get a reaction in the time frame she felt she should have, she felt that he had nothing to offer, or a wimp, or not doing anything. So we're getting in the car. My mom did live 3 blocks from the cemetery. And I'm looking into my rearview mirror, and I see this man running after us. His skin is flapping in the wind. It's scaring me. And I'm looking, and I go to Rody. I said, oh, my God, he's following us. And she looks back like she can see it. It was really funny. I pulled off immediately because I definitely didn't need to bring him to my home, to my blind mother or my children. And Rody's sitting there, and she's like, the whole time before this is happening, she's talking about, see, if you're dominant, they know that. They didn't do nothing.
They do know it, and he didn't do anything.
But in his mind, he's like, I'm not going to do it right now. I'll find when you're least expecting it. Rody rolls down the window because I said he's right there by the window. And I'm going, he's right there beside you. And I'm not making eye contact with him. I'm giving him as much respect as I possibly can. And I'm looking at Rody, and I would glance up at him and start describing to her what he looks like, what he's wearing. And he wanted a cigarette from her. So Rody goes and rolls down the window. She's like, where is he? And she literally goes through him. And I'm going, Rody, don't rock the boat. You know what I mean? And she gives him a cigarette, and she's apologizing. And I'm telling him that we weren't meaning any disrespect in any way. And he was dressed in a very long leather duster. I would say earlier than the clothes that you see wearing in Tombstone, the Tombstone, the show. And she gave him the cigarette. We got it all well, and that was it. But, technically, because she was calling him out, they don't have to do it because you tell them to. They don't have to respond. But in his mind, he was going to respond when she least expects it, while she's sleeping or where she lives. And she takes this to this day as a welcoming.
Yeah.
To
They were welcoming me to Chicago. And they knew that the best way to growl into that recorder. They knew it. That's what I believe.
Is this the same trip when you guys went to Bachelor's Grove with Tom and Nick?
That would be that was exactly the weekend she came up.
That's what I thought. So, because I know that I put you guys together for that.
Yes,
so
you
I
did.
thought that would be the best way to see it is with people who know it very well and do tours there. So I do have
Bachelor Grove when that happened. We were in LaPorte when that occurred. It was our very first 2 hours on Indiana soil.
Indiana has got some very calming places and some very weird places. But Rody, did you learn not to provoke after that?
Well, nothing, no, but I don't provoke it. But no, I didn't. But let me tell you when my favorite trip was. I have to back up a little bit to about 2011 when I met Valerie Seabrun, Valerie, our third musketeer. And we didn't really know each other, and we were both older. We're the same age, Val and I. And we were just getting into this paranormal stuff. So we decided, and 2 other experienced investigators, we were in this little group, we're going to go to Villisca Axe Murder House. Well, at the last minute, the 2 that were sort of mutual that we both knew but didn't know each other backed out. So we get in the car and go up there anyway. And in hindsight, people were like, y'all were crazy to get in the car with someone you didn't know and drive up there. But anyway, we went up there. And we had really only seen TV shows, and I think as a group been to a cemetery once. So we assumed things happened a lot. Well, things did happen a lot for us there. It was, we're sitting there. We've been 2 hours in the kids' room. The music box just starts playing. A chair got dragged across the attic. It was something. It was wild and crazy. But it wasn't until we were doing it a few more months, or even a year, that we realized how rare it is to have so many things happen at one investigation. So that was sort of our breaking into it. And then, a few years later, we meet Katrina, and Valerie and I had talked about it. Like one day we want to go back there and we want to take Katrina. The 3 of us only go. So it's kind of like where Val and I first started. And then we came full circle with this little tribe we've kind of become. And to me, that was the most memorable because of the sentimental part of it, bringing Katrina to where it began for us. So,
well, I thought it was going to be in September 2016 when you met me.
Actually, it was so.
No, I'm only kidding. I'm just giving you crap.
The stairs. No, you know which one I was thinking before Villisca was when I was there. When we came up and the Pickmans were there, that was one of the most, because Carl and I were in the basement. He had the Kinect camera. We're looking at the screen. Tony Pickman was sitting on the ground. We saw on the screen right when it happened, Denise. We saw something jump on his arm, and he flinched. This man flinched, and I still got the picture of it. There were bite marks on his arm. Remember that?
Yes, I do. That was the last time I actually investigated at the Sally House.
Yeah, well, us too. Yeah,
and
that was last time we were there.
Yeah, that was the last actual investigation that we did there before the movie was filmed, and
there was a movie.
Yeah, I'll tell you about that later. But it was very interesting that night, and those were the imps that Dave Constantine told me, that he's the one who told me what they were. And when I told when they were telling me that these things were building itself higher, one, then another one jumps on, and then another one jumps on, and they're seeing this all happen. And I was just sitting at the table. That was the one night that almost everybody got scratched except for me or Ron.
Wow.
Scratched. Katrina got slapped, I think it was. Was it slapped or scratched?
Oh no, I had little poke marks all over my body, and I also got a hickey on my boob.
Yep. So doesn't surprise me.
Remember that?
Yeah.
I know for Rody, she always talks about me and Ron being so close, and that was the time.
Yes.
So
I'll never forget that. There was y'all slept together in a twin bed, 30 years married, slept. I thought it was the sweetest thing, actually. But there was another twin bed right over there. But I'll never forget that. Is that just me, Katrina, or was that the sweetest thing?
That is.
Yeah, that's very memorable. It's not like y'all were newlyweds or something, and you gave up probably more comfort to sleep together, and that's why I remember that so well.
Yeah,
and of course,
well, I'll tell you why we picked that bed over the other bed. It was up against the wall.
Okay, so no one falls off.
Yeah,
or at least only one.
Yeah, at least on one side. But how many people can say they actually slept in the nursery of the Sally house?
That's right.
Exactly. Right. Yeah.
Yep. So we do have a couple questions in the chat. April's my cousin. She asked, so do spirits drain your energy when you do a reading, Katrina?
100%. It's definitely it. Have you ever sat down and did your bills and you feel so overwhelmed and tired, or sat out and worked out at, I mean, just a day at the beach? You didn't do nothing. You're physically not going nowhere, but you're tired. Yes.
I know at Sally house, we would, in the past, when we would go, we would leave there exhausted.
Yes.
We would go in there and all raring to go and happy and all that. And by the end of the night, by the end of 4 hours, it was like, I just want to go home. I want to go home, get something to eat, and go to bed. And I mean, when we could actually do that, we would actually sleep in late on Sunday morning because we were still so drained from being there for just 4 hours. But most of the time, it wasn't just 4 hours for us. It was usually we would get there at noon and we would be there until we wouldn't get home until midnight for most of the stuff that we were doing. But I don't miss it. I'll tell you that now. I don't miss it.
You don't miss the Sally house?
Nope.
Wow. You're such an expert on it,
I did. I mean, but things happen and we change. And so, but like I said, that's a really long story. But I just know that I agree with Katrina. They do drain you, and sometimes you can be perfectly fine and walk into some place and suddenly be drained of all your energy.
That's true.
And it's not even Walmart. So, but it happens, and so I don't know. It's just kind of strange.
Something I cannot relate to, because that doesn't happen to me. Like you and Katrina can understand what you're saying. I can't. I've never felt drained anywhere. I mean, I just never have felt it.
I feel stripped and drained right now. Look at me.
Yeah, after the show yesterday, and then she had a big reading today. She was at earlier too. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, but
no, that's okay. I love doing it,
but Rody is the Energizer Rabbit.
Yes, she is.
You kind of have to unplug her and put her in bed at night.
A set of extra recharge batteries on there.
Yeah. No, I'm only like that for short bursts at a time. And believe me, I nap every day, and it's not even funny. What time do I go to bed, Katrina?
About 7.
Oh, then I'm keeping you up past your bedtime.
At 4 in the morning.
Yeah, but I get up anywhere from 4:30 to 5:30 every morning. So, But yeah,
I couldn't do that.
I can get very animated and hyper and at the investigations because I mean, and you possibly getting evidence you don't know at the beginning, but you may possibly get something in a picture and video or audio that shows there is something, somehow consciousness survives this life and there's something else. Now, whether it's like the Bible or the Torah or the Quran or whether it's a new wave or who knows, aliens, I don't know what it is, but there is something there. And when you're like that, and for me and thinking that and all, I think I do get all hyped up in my energy. And I also think it's contagious. I don't know, Rody's energy. It seems like when I get like that, everyone around me gets like that also.
Yeah, I have to calm it down.
She does sometimes. She pops my Buddha beads on my wrist.
She does get into overdrive. There's no doubt. We get her there.
Oh, well.
Years ago, if you think this is something 20 years ago, I was hell on wheels then.
Well, I can see that. You know, you're one of the people that when I think of having energy to do a long investigation, you're one of the first people I think of.
Oh, yeah.
Passion.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, because and if I'm there, and especially I drove, I want to investigate the whole time. And I can be a bit of a, like, I don't like a lot of playing around at the investigations, believe it or not, you know. I like to investigate, you know. That doesn't mean you can't have a laugh here and there, but you've probably been on investigations with a big group or, you know, a lot of people. And at some point, you know, and like there's no drinking when I'm on an investigation. I don't know about you.
No.
Because I've been at those before too. And it just gets, yeah, it's not conducive, in my opinion, to having a good investigation. But yeah, I do get wired up. That's for sure.
Yeah, there's no drinking when I'm investigating. Right now, mostly it's because I have this hernia and it hurts. But no, unless it's planned.
Delicious wine.
Yeah. Like I said, we've had some Malvern Manor. We did have some drinks there, but we were having a break and eating and all that, so it wasn't like we were just sitting there getting drunk. But
your Malvern Manor was my first remote viewing test,
and
it went well.
Yeah, we did that we had quite a few people that read for Malvern Manor. It's an unusual place, period. They're finally just getting all their history found, the rest of it.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. I contributed to that.
Of course.
So, but it's always important to get the facts right. You know what? We're coming up on our next break. I hope everybody's enjoying the show. If you have any questions, please put them in the chats and I will make sure I ask them. But you're listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. We'll be back with Rody and Katrina in just a few minutes.
You're listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk, only on Paranormal Experience Radio, broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh, come on. I'm Southern, but... nope. That'll do. Hello. I am Kat Hobson, host of Paranormal Experience here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. I enjoy having guests from all areas of the paranormal, from ghosts to ufology to cryptids and beyond. You'll find some of the best researchers in their fields bringing you some great information. Join me on Wednesday nights from 8 to 10 p. Eastern here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
Since 1948, Fate magazine has brought you reports of the strange and unknown, all of them true. Fate Radio is carrying on that tradition, bringing you the unusual, macabre, strange, and bizarre. Join host Kat Hobson Sunday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
You're listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk, only on Paranormal Experienced Radio, broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Welcome back to the Paranormal Pride. This is our last segment with Rody and Katrina, and I'm going to ask you another question. There's another one from April. She says, during readings, are you ever told future things or events?
I am, and it's not my my visions. I am not psychic in any way, 100% not. But over and over and over again, my loved ones, my forever friends, inform me that things that because I tell everybody to record. I've tried to record, and look at how we're having trouble today with you and I having to log out and come back in. It just messes with energy. It messes with the electronics. So I had tried to record for my forever friends, but they come up missing. So I asked them to record, and I had a woman that I did a reading 3 years ago, and I just did a reading for her again yesterday, and she said, you won't believe, we just went through all of the voice that they recorded, and things that came up that didn't make sense was future statements. So unless my forever friends, and many do, but there's so many that don't tell me until the second time or the third time that I talk to them, of confirming that these things happen. One of my favorites is even with Rody right here. One of her friends had passed away that didn't believe in she was very religious. So this kind of stuff is not allowed nor true. And I said, Rody, she showed me butterflies. They're flying. She gave me a specific thing that was going to happen. Rody went to that funeral, and lo and behold, it really happened. So it was something that gave them a moment to tell you that I can tell you I was here, and a glimpse of the future.
I just have to tell you, there was a big butterfly balloon, and it was tied up on the front of the altar where we all saw. I couldn't believe it, Denise.
Oh, wow.
So I had another one that contacted me and told me that they were going to make a certain thing happen in the sky that had to do with fireworks. And it wasn't 4th of July time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I know that sounds crazy, but it's not even 4th of July. Contacted me a couple of days later, stated that they threw the fireworks happen the way it does. So my statement to the question is yes, but it's not to tell you the numbers. It's not to let you know that I got the future and can change it. It's more on the lines of, in my opinion, more confirmation that they're watching you. They're picking you up when you need to be picked up, and sharing in with the celebrations that the family have. That's what I and I find that happen a lot with more of the skeptics, more the ones that it's harder to believe.
Right.
A better thing to give you than something that's gonna happen.
Right.
And I have the best forever friends in the whole wide world. They're right behind me, because when they get their confirmation and their words, they know that I didn't know that.
Right.
It was truly from heaven.
What was the...
What?
Do you, can you tell the future in your readings? Can you tell the future in your readings?
Yeah.
Though?
Oh, no. Yeah.
I figured it was my question.
Yeah, I didn't even hear what it was. I'm sorry. A lot of people ask her, though, about those lottery numbers, Denise. A lot.
Oh, I know they do. They don't realize that it would, regardless of whose numbers they are, it's personal gain. It's not meant for us to know.
Hey, I'm laughing. Wait, because Katrina goes, I think that question was for me. I want to know if you can tell them. I just got how funny that was. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I understand. Sometimes it's slow.
Yeah, that question was for you. It was for me. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I just I get silly together. That cracked me. I was
actually, we're in Rhody's sleep moment. She's usually in bed.
Oh, yeah,
right. I know. Like I said, I'm sorry. I'm keeping you up past your bedtime.
No, loving it. We're loving it. No, it's just we're having so much fun chatting with you, Denise. You know we love you. You're in the tribe.
Oh, I know.
With this.
We were talking. Ron and I were talking about places that we want to go, and I said we still got to get down to Texas. And he goes, we need to retire, and so we can do all these things, And so, because we want to move, and we can't move until the kids move out, and then so some of the traveling can't happen until we sell the house. So it's like I got all these things I want to do, but it's one thing at a time. But yes, coming down to see you guys is on our list of places to go, because we've been to Galveston like 5 or 6 times. We went down.
Shame on you by not coming by, because I'm only 25 minutes away.
We didn't know you then. That's the thing. We've been down there that many times. We didn't have any friends down there. We had dogs running at the Greyhound Park there. Wow. And one of our dogs had the track record there. So we were going down there a lot to see our dogs race and stuff. But we never got the chance to go check out any of the haunted locations in Galveston because we had small kids with us.
All of Galveston is haunted.
I know. But the hotel we were in was we were more interested in not being haunted with the kids.
Right.
Were you at the Galvez?
No, we were not. We were at the Casa del Sol.
Okay, yeah.
Right on
that hurricane that came through, was it 1901? So many people died, that
were
all
there.
over the city there. And there's a tour, Dax Beard, I think is his name. I don't know if you ever did it. And he's got that history. He knows everything down, and it's really was enjoyable. I went on it once.
Oh my goodness. I rented a condo out in there for my son's graduation 2 years ago.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know that her boyfriend was Dax. I still have never met this man, but I hear many things about him. And our place was haunted. Things were coming up missing. Things were falling out of the closets. And I told her, I even got the text message. I said, you do know it's haunted here, right? She goes, my boyfriend says it is. And that's when she told me it was Dax. And I had no idea. I still haven't met him.
I believe it was Kat that had him on her show, or was it someone else? I know I've heard him speak, and he is very interesting.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
But that is one of the places. I mean, I've seen so many things in Galveston.
Yes, you do.
And I know the history of the actual town, because
everybody's history.
Well, I do immerse myself in it, but
yes, you do.
But at the time, all I was concerned about when we were going down there is Landry's. I had to go to Landry's.
Seafood, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Well, seafood and Bananas Foster. They have the best Bananas Foster.
Landry's.
Landry's is a great place to eat seafood. I love their bacon ones.
So, but like I said, I like their dessert. I love their seafood, but their dessert is great. And we have a Landry's down in Branson, but it's not the same.
Oh, probably not the same. Yeah,
it's the same company. It's just the seafood doesn't taste the same. And so, and I'm huge on seafood. I have to have it. But But we also loved walking the beach there because there are so many seashells there.
Yes, indeed. Yep, that's right. And you know what? Collecting those shells, my aunt, who's passed now, owned a beach house, and she had several big jars because she'd love to walk the beach, and she was a school teacher. She almost lived down there in the summertime, and you will find shark's teeth all up and down like you find the seashells on that beach also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the sand dollars in April and October. But like I said, I know enough about Galveston to be completely dangerous. And my doctor also went to medical school down there.
Dangerous. I love that word.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if they'd really want me on a ghost tour.
Well, we're here for you. We've been inviting you numerous times to come and visit.
It's mostly been stuff with the family has kept us from going where we want to go, because every trip we take, well, since I've known you, it was, hey, we got to go see my mom, or I got to go to Vegas and see the kids. And now it's kids as opposed to just one. It's 2 daughters and a granddaughter there.
And grandkids, yes.
Yeah. So we got all that, and then, St. Louis to see Ron's family, and of course we got to go see all the spirits everywhere. But like I said, you guys are on our list. It's a heck of a drive to Houston.
It is.
Here.
It is.
I know I drove it 4 times.
Right. We used to when we would take the drive, we would go down to Lincoln, Arkansas and stay with Ron's family overnight. And then we would leave, in the middle of the night or the night before and try to get through Dallas by 3 a.m. so that we could hit the morning, the other end of the morning rush hour in Houston.
Yeah, Dallas is still about 4 or 5 hours from us.
Yeah, about 4.5 hours. Yeah,
still north. We would meet you halfway.
That's not the point. The point is I need to go to Galveston.
Yeah, we'll meet her halfway where?
So we could meet her. I'm just stating that.
But where? Like, why would we? She's coming to Houston. Why would we meet her?
I'm on glass number 4.
Of her wine. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Someday, maybe someday.
I know how to say I'm wrong.
Yeah, but
really, Ron was in Dallas in October, I think it was. He was there, and that was a work trip. That was not fun. So, but I am so grateful that you guys got to be on with me tonight, and.
Not as much as grateful as we are.
We have enjoyed this so much. Yes. And thank you for asking us. We really, and I've had a great time chatting with you tonight, Denise.
Well, I want for you guys to tell everybody again, in case anybody checked in since the last time, where can people find Rody and Katrina?
You can find us on our YouTube channel, which is Katrina Spiritual Medium. And that's where we have our Forever Friends by Katrina live show at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time every other Sunday. As if we're starting it every other Sunday, we need to have family time. And on Facebook, Katrina Spiritual Medium, on that Facebook page, you'll see all kinds of good stuff. There's information how to book a reading. And also on Instagram, Katrina Spiritual Medium. She has a lot of testimonials up there. And last but not least, she has been tweeting now for 3 weeks. And that is also Katrina Spiritual Medium. So come say hi to us on any of those social medias, and I hope you'll come subscribe to our channel. We're trying to grow it this year.
And everybody out there in Radio Land, send Rody a thank you of all the awesome things she does for Katrina. Even though it says Katrina Spiritual Medium, Rody is listening. She's answering all those messages. And I want to say thank you. And I just want to throw that out there.
All right, Nick, to subscribe. Love you, honey. You're your little mini me. And I just love you. You
Nick,
rock.
and
thank you, yes, for taking us around Bachelor's Grove. You were just so delightful that day. And so was Tom.
All of his patches on his.
Oh, yes. I love all those patches on the back. Yes, absolutely.
I would tell you, Tom would have been here if he didn't have to start a job at Walmart.
Well, I'm glad he's got a job.
Yeah.
Well, he was working for the school system, and with school being shut down, he had to find something. So he went and he got a job at Walmart, which means he works Monday nights. So So he sends me messages telling me how much he misses the show. So he really would have missed talking to you guys or hearing you guys tonight. So
they're special people, and we appreciate you setting us up with such great para-unity fellows.
I only suggest the best for my friends.
You do. You absolutely do. And
we
were
love
the best.
You.
Yeah,
we love
we do.
Ron, and I love Kat now. She is such an awesome person in the background. I want to say thank you so much for being there for us, and thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you very much.
Well, thank you. And everyone tune in next Monday night to when I reveal who my next guest is. I am in the middle of, I didn't book anybody for tonight and the next 2 weeks because I thought I would be having surgery, but they said it was going to take a month before they could get it approved. So there we go. So I am working on getting us some very special guests, people I've never had on before. And I hope that you guys will be here next week to enjoy those guests. And I hope everybody has a great night. And just remember, as Katrina said earlier, words hurt. And I'm tired of seeing people hurt each other. So you're listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. Have a great night.
You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk only on Paranormal Experience Radio. Broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.